Okay, I thought I would do a little update on the winter greenhouse. It's November 7th, and we've made a little progress from the last video. Everything is still doing very well. Carrots, radishes, turnips going nuts. These are a different variety of carrots. This is the arugula. And then we have spinach and broccoli and cauliflower with spinach in between. Romaine lettuce. It's starting to get cold. We've had 2 nights below freezing, just barely getting to the freezing point. And I'm not finished with the rocket stove in here. And so I've got this little heater kind of facing where the tomato plants are sitting. I don't know if you can tell in there, but they're not real happy about the freeze they just endured. I don't know if it got below freezing inside here. But anyway, they're not happy. So I got to get that rocket stove finished. We seeded some more things. Some tomato, cherry tomato, bell pepper, what all? Squash, cucumber, and kohlrabi, which I'm not sure what it is, but it looked really cool, and so we planted some. And tomatoes are still surviving, but I've got to get some heat in here. This is some compost that I've added water to. I saw some videos about compost tea, and I didn't really research it very much, just because I thought, well, that's easy enough, just throw some water in there. And so I don't know how well this is working, but I stir it every day, and I feed it to the plants. I don't know how much of a difference it's making. The green beans are still growing. Again, not real happy with the cold temperatures, you can tell. The arugula, I've just been drizzling some of the compost tea on this center row. And at this point, the center row seems to be doing slightly better in certain areas, but it's kind of inconclusive at this point if it's making any difference at all. I'm going to keep giving that center row, at least on the arugula, giving that center row the compost tea, and over the next few weeks we'll be able to tell if it's making any difference at all. I've been feeding the compost tea to all the new seedlings. We've got a couple of bell peppers that just sprouted up. We've got a sunchoke that sprouted, and I guess the seed kind of floated and moved. I must have watered it a little too much and floated the seed, but it sprouted anyway. So we got bean stalks and peppers, sunchoke. This is the rocket stove, and I apologize, but I didn't get a video of how I made this part. I don't know what I was thinking, but basically, if you've seen my other videos, this is the fuel chamber right here where you put the wood, and then it's kind of a J tube, and it's just made out of this 6-inch ductwork. And I've got a clean out on the front, and that 6-inch ductwork goes up inside this oh, this was an old pressure tank that I just cut the bottom out of and then took the guts out of it. But it goes up to within 2 inches of the top of this. And this piece here, it was too short, so I had to make it taller. So I wrapped it with flashing so that I could get it to the right height and screwed it all together. And I made a manifold over on this side for this 7-inch ductwork to come out of. And so this is all going to be covered with cob. Well, I say cob. My cob wasn't working very well. I think it's because I have kind of poor quality clay. My clay is very sandy, so the cob wasn't working really well. So what I did is I busted up all the cob that I had made before on the rocket stove that I was making before I moved it, because I moved the greenhouse. And I busted it all up, soaked it in water, turned it back to mud, and then I added some cement to it. And it seems to be that it's going to hold up a lot better. So we'll see. Jury's still out. But anyway, the cob is going to cover this pipe, this 7-inch pipe that runs along. And then I've got a 90-degree elbow where I'm going to go to 6-inch duct. And it's going to go up to near the top of the greenhouse, and then I'm going to run it horizontally again all the way to the other end of the greenhouse and exhaust it on that end, therefore capturing as much of the heat as I can off of the ductwork rather than just bend it straight out where I lose a lot of the heat. And so of course the cob will be covering all of this. I'm going to bring the cob probably up to about here on this part of the rocket stove, and I'll probably make it 6 or 7 inches thick all around this one horizontal pipe here, and take it up probably 8 or 9 inches on the next joint of pipe. So that's the plan, and of course I'll keep doing videos to show the progress of all that. And so far the greenhouse is working great. I'm really pleased. I know it's very important for me to get some heat in here because the winters are tough around here for plants. I live in zone 7, or I live in Oklahoma, so it's zone 7. So we get some pretty cold winters. And I know I won't have any problem with the lettuce crops and you know, your arugula and kale and radishes and things like that, but I want to be able to grow the tomatoes and cucumbers also, and the beans, which I know they like a lot of the heat and they really don't like the cold. So I don't know how that's going to work out. I'm not sure how it's going to work out keeping them together, the cold weather crops and the warm weather crops in the same greenhouse. I'm hoping I can kind of find a happy medium where they'll both grow and produce. So anyway, that's the progress on the greenhouse so far. And any comments would certainly be appreciated. I got a comment the other day from someone, shoot, I can't remember. I wish I could remember so I could give them credit. But they told me to shake the tomato plants, I guess, so that they'll pollinate. And this plant here had no tomatoes on it. And after I got that comment, I decided to come out here and try that. And just a few days later, it started producing tomatoes. So thank you. I can't remember who gave me that comment. I apologize. But anyway, they had said to every couple of days, just shake your tomato plants. And I'm assuming they meant when they were flowered so that they could pollinate. So that's all for now, and I'll make another video later.